Loving you is my fault. Chapter 5. Where is your husband? Chapter 5. Where is your husband? Emmeline told Cedric not to come to her house and only call her on the number she gave him in case of need. Cedric only called her one time in 2 weeks when he asked her to leave food inside by using the other key she had. This is how Emmeline was able to hide Cedric for the whole 2 weeks without anyone to find out. This is why Emmeline was at ease and never thought that he would come to her house in the early morning. After Emmeline saw him standing in front of Elira, she ran toward them and lightly pushed her to stand between them. Cedric was a little surprised but didn't say a word. She looked at Elira for a while and thought about what to say in this situation.
Then she pretended not to know him. Who are you?
Cedric was dumbfounded and Elira looked at her strangely.
Oh, really, you don't know him?
No, I don't know him.
Cedric was astonished for a minute. He was about to say something when Emmeline covered his mouth with her hand.
Mrs. Emily.
Mom, let me tell you that you are very bad at lying. I already heard him call your name. It is useless to try to hide it now, so tell me who he is.
Is that so?
Yes.
They were talking to each other and forgot that she was still covering his mouth with her hand.
Excuse me, ladies, if you don't mind. Can you move your hand first? It is not very polite to cover someone's mouth with your hand.
Emmeline was shocked to know that she covered his mouth with her hand because she did it without knowing herself in the heat of the moment. She yanked her hand immediately after hearing what Cedric said and apologized.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cover your mouth.
He thought to himself that no one in their right mind would do that.
It's okay. It was my fault to come here without any notice. You weren't picking up the call and my room's water heater is now working. I came to know if there is any way to fix it. Though it was quite surprising that you pretended to know me after taking full rent in only 2 weeks.
Emmeline laughed awkwardly and pretended like it never happened.
Oh, again. Our guest room's water heater always broke every winter. It will be fine after we repair it, and yeah, Mom, it's not good to not recognize someone you know. By the way, I'm Elira Forrest. What's your name, handsome?
I'm Cedric Brown. It's nice to meet you, Elira Forrest.
It's nice to meet you too, handsome. Wow, you are not only handsome but your voice is also lovely.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She is just like her mother, Cedric thought. It was true. When Emmeline saw him first, she called him handsome.
Mr. Brown, I'll go to see it and try to fix it.
Mom, don't you have something to explain before that?
Elira looked at Emmeline with her wicked expression. They went inside and sat in the living room. Emmeline stared at Elira and was bewildered to tell her about Cedric. She was more nervous because Cedric came inside and was sitting at the moment with them. She was silent and was waiting for Cedric to leave, but he didn't move an inch, so after she thought hard and fast, she apologized and explained everything to them. Why she lied.
I am sorry for lying. I don't let men alone rent out my guest room because me and my daughter live alone here all day except my son who comes from college at night. When you came here first I didn't want to let you rent out our guest room, but in the heavy snow no one with family wants to come here, so I agreed to let you rent it out.
Cedric listened carefully to Emmeline and didn't say anything until she explained the reason.
Elira, you know that your brother never agreed to let men live here, that's why I lied and hid him. We are also short on money, so I didn't have any option but to let him live here.
It's okay, Mrs. Forrest, I can understand your situation, but it would be nice if you explained this early. I should leave now that the misunderstanding is solved.
He was about to leave when Elira stopped him.
Where are you going, Cedric? Isn't your room's water heater broken, so how will you warm the water? Don't tell me you're going to use cold water in the weather to freeze yourself to death.
Cedric laughed and thought she is funny and doesn't bother to be formal at all. She directly called me Cedric without any formality.
I will call someone to fix the water heater.
Emmeline called the repairer and he told her that he would come tomorrow morning because he's busy today.
So it's decided that you will use our house bathroom and have lunch with us, right, Mother?
Yes, yes.
She really didn't like the idea at first, but she eventually agreed to it. She already saw how nice Cedric was and kept his appreciative distance from them. They had lunch and talked about many things as they became friendly in no time. Cedric told them that he is a professional photographer who took natural beauty photos and traveled around the world. After lunch, Elira went to her room and Emmeline was cleaning the table. Cedric helped her in cleaning the table and washing the dishes.
If you don't mind, can I ask where your husband is? I haven't seen and heard anything about him.
Cedric already saw Albert and Elira in the past 2 weeks when he went to the forest for exposure and taking photos, but never saw Emmeline's husband. He never mentioned them because he could feel that it was not good to interfere in their lives. But he couldn't help himself to see how she did everything by herself. Emmeline didn't reply to him and was continually washing dishes.
I'm sorry if you don't want tea.
Emmeline spoke before he could even complete his sentence and told him that her husband wasn't with her, but never cleared what happened to him.
He is not with us. I live here alone with my children.
Cedric fell silent and didn't ask more after they finished washing dishes.
Thank you for having me, Ms. Emmeline Forrest. Goodbye.
He showed gratitude and went to his room. Emmeline got the feeling that he was really a good man. He read the room and never despised them after going through so much trouble. Continue.